All right, Wiresharkers, let's jump into it. Let's start learning what Wireshark is and how did it all start, and we get the information about the graphical user interface of Wireshark. Now, this is the second video in the series. If you haven't watched the first video and you just jumped into the second video to jump the introduction, please stop watching this video and go back to the introduction because the introduction have so many good information you'll probably benefit from and you will know what this series is all about. So watch the first video, the introduction video, before you watch this one. Okay, are you still watching this one? You still watch? No, go and watch the first one. I'm just kidding. All right, let's continue. So, what is Wireshark? Wireshark is a network packet analyzer. Network packet analyzer. All right, what is a network packet analyzer? We will learn in a second. A network packet analyzer will try to capture network packets and tries to display that packet data as detailed as possible. Okay, I mean, you're wondering, okay, what does this mean? All right, we'll see what does this mean. This is Wireshark, and this is the first thing that comes when you open Wireshark. Now I'm using version 1.10.6. This is the latest version, latest and the greatest version of Wireshark. I just updated it today, and today is April 4th, 2014. All right, so this is the first thing that comes. Now you have the capture, the files, and the online section of Wireshark. The capture, this is how you control what you want to capture, what interfaces to use when you're capturing, and all the capturing options. We will talk all about all this information. The files here, if you want to open files that you have saved on the computer, like captured files, because what can happen, what you can do with Wireshark is you can capture things on a computer, you can save them, and then you can open them on a different computer. So you can share your work with your teammates so they can work on the same, like probably you can separate the problem or the troubleshooting into small segments and small packets so everybody can do their job or can look into that segment at a specific time or anything like that. All right, we have sample captures, and this is what I'm going to be using of all the captures that we're going to look at. They're free, they're public, they're online on wiki.wireshark.org. And I'm not trying to steal anything, and I'm not trying to bring anything from work or anything illegal, okay? Now, online, we have the website of Wireshark, the user guide, and security. Work with Wireshark as secure as possible. It will just give you information on how to use Wireshark in a secure way, all right? Now, let's talk about capture. Capture, if you look here, you have a list of your interfaces that you have. I have local area connections, VirtualBox that I use for some Windows VirtualBox with GNS and some other things that I use, and you have Wi-Fi and many other things. So I'm going to use Ethernet, and I'm going to press start, and then right now all this Wireshark, what is Wireshark doing? Wireshark, it's capturing the network, it's analyzing my network, it's capturing all the traffic that is going behind the scene. I mean, there's so many things going on behind the scene while using your computer, and you don't know, you don't even know about it, but your computer is busy, your network, it's sending messages, and as you can see, there's so many colors, and every color has a specific meaning. We will talk about that too in a different video. I just wanted to show you. I'm going to stop this, and then I'm going to put this down, and then we are going to talk more about. So we knew network packet analyzer is when you capture packets and it will show you and it starts analyzing all your network traffic, and you show it to you as detailed as possible. And by as detailed as possible, they mean this. You have a packet like here, for example, and then this is all the details right here. You have all the details about the packet. You have from layer 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you have the Ethernet source and destination, the IP addresses and the header information of the IP address, the length of the header, and everything. This is all the details you want to know about a packet. And I'm talking about every network protocol packets you can think of will be analyzed. So every network packet will be analyzed. Sorry, I had to pause the recording and come back to you. So probably there's like a little jump in the talking. So every network packet will be analyzed, and it will be just right here, and all the information you need will be in this pane right here, and we will talk about this. Like right now, let's go back and see. So network packet analyzer. So we analyze the network, analyze all the packets in the network, and it's shown to you as detailed as possible, as I just showed you. Now the next thing is what Wireshark is not. All right, Wireshark isn't an intrusion detection system. Now, if you worked with security and networking, like if you took CCNA security or CCNP security, you know what intrusion detection system and intrusion prevention systems. Like intrusion detection system, it will notify you if there is somebody tracking to if your network has any intrusion in it, if somebody is hacking your network doing port scan, DHCP snooping, what else? There's so many ways to get it. Port scan, DHCP snooping. I'm trying to remember all these names. I've forgotten. So it will not. Wireshark will not be an intrusion detection system. It will not warn you when someone does strange things on your network that she isn't allowed to do. However, if strange things happen, Wireshark might help you figure out what is really going on. So it's not going to send you a notification or let you know that hey, somebody is doing something illegal, or there's somebody it's doing port scan on your network or doing DHCP snooping. No, you're not going to get notification. You have to go and look at the packets and see what's going on in the packets. And what we're going to do, we're going to talk about something called baselining. What it is, it's you are going to capture network on your daily, like at work, you have Wireshark, you open Wireshark, and you start capturing network traffic on normal duty days, on normal days, all right? And that what is called a baseline. So when something happens, you look at a baseline, and then you look at the capture during the troubleshooting, and you'll see the difference between the baseline and what's going on when you're troubleshooting, and you'll see the difference and you realize what's going on. So baselining is very important, and we'll talk about baselining, but remember this word, baseline. Remember, it's very important. Wireshark, capture, baseline. All right, now another thing, Wireshark will not manipulate things on the network. It will only measure things from it. So it's not going to change things. You cannot use Wireshark to configure your network, to adjust if you have something wrong and you figure out what the troubleshoot is, what the problem is. Using Wireshark, you're not going to be able to manipulate it, or it's only going to measure it. It will tell you what's going on. I mean, it will measure what's going on. You'll figure it out, and then you go to the router or the switch or the computer or whatever it is, and just fix it. But Wireshark is not going to fix it for you. All right. Now, the next thing is, how did Wireshark start it? I mean, who just created Wireshark? All right, Gerald Combs. All right, Gerald Combs. He used to work in networking in 1997, and he just wanted to. In late 1997, Gerald Combs needed a tool for tracking down networking problems and wanted to learn more about networking. So he started writing Ethereal. Ethereal was actually the very first program. It's Wireshark at the beginning. It used to be called Ethereal. All right, and it was made by Gerald Combs. All right, in 1998. But 1997, that's when the idea began in his head, Gerald Combs. And then Ethereal had some help. Gerald Combs had some help to make Ethereal with Gilbert Ramirez. He made low-level dissectors, and then Guy Harris started applying patches and contributing dissectors too. And we have Richard Sharp, and the same thing. He started contributing dissectors and contributing patches. All right, and then in 2008. After 10 years of development, Wireshark finally arrived at version 1.0. So in 2008, Ethereals became Wireshark. And now the Wireshark, the greatest, there's many people contributing to it. I mean, there's thousands of people making patches and making dissectors and everything else. So it's not only 3 people or 4 people, there's thousands of people actually contributing to Wireshark right now. So this is the story of how it started. Gerald Combs, 1998, make Ethereal. He got help from these 3 people, Gerald Ramirez, Guy Harris, and Richard Sharp. And then 2008, 10 years after Ethereal was found, Ethereal became Wireshark and arrived at version 1.0. All right. Now, let's talk about the graphical user interface of Wireshark. All right, graphical user interface of Wireshark, the main menu of Wireshark, the one that we were just looking at, this one right here. All right, I'm going to show you this, or actually, sorry, I wanted to jump. Before we do that, there's three things, three important. I'm like stomping on my foot right now. If you can see me, I had an instructor before. I used to have an instructor, and every time there's something important, he started like banging the floor with his foot so we can like concentrate. Or if somebody was like daydreaming, we'll wake up. All right. So there's three things. We have lip B cap. All right. Win PCAP, and PCAP. Remember those. You really need to know what everything does, what lib PCAP does, Win PCAP, and PCAP. All right. So lib PCAP, it's a link layer interface. Wireshark, it's a link layer interface. All right. Wireshark use lib PCAP when you are using Wireshark on Linux. All right. So if you're using Wireshark on Linux, you are using lib PCAP. It's basically a program. Here, let me show you this website right here, real quick. It's the lib PCAP website. Nope, not this one. This one right here. All right. So this is the website. It's called www.tcpdom.org. TCPDOM and libpcap. This is an official website of TCPDOM, a powerful command line packet analyzer. It's a packet analyzer that's a TCPDOM, which is included in the Wireshark because Wireshark use, how I'm going to say that, Wireshark use libpcap and TCPDOM as a capture engines for Wireshark. All right, so this is what you're using libpcap if you're using Wireshark on Linux. All right, now WinPCAP, if you're using Wireshark on Windows, you are using WinPCAP. If you are using Wireshark on Windows, which is I'm doing right now, you're using WinPCAP, which is the engine, which is the core engine of Wireshark that working behind the scene to bring all the packets and analyze all those network packets and put the details for you on the screen using WinPCAP on Windows. All right, use this engine Wireshark uses to run on Windows. All right, now RPCAP, it's what you're using when you are analyzing wireless network 802.11. All right, when using wireless network, you are capturing using RPCAP, which is the same thing. It's an engine or it's a link layer interface and a network adapter Wireshark line. Let me show you this website right here. I keep losing those website. All right, so we saw the DCV dump. WinPCAP, this is the website, www.winpcap.org. If you want to learn about it, you can go to the website and dig deeper and get to figure it out. I kind of like to do this thing sometimes and read about the like what makes a program, and I go and dig deep and I get lost and I get myself into so many information that I don't want to know. So if you like to do that, you can go ahead and learn about all the information for WinPCAP. And the same thing here for AirPCAP. This is a wireless traffic capture AirPCAP adapter for Microsoft Windows. Now, when we do the video about wireless sniffing and wireless network analysis, we will know what this adapter does and why do we need to use this adapter. Those things are expensive. I mean, look at this. $2,749. What is this? Cascade Pilot Enterprise Upgrade. Ooh. AirPCAP Classical USB, $198. This is the USB adapter, capture only for $594. I mean, every one of those adapters will have a different specification and different jobs to do. I've never used them because I never got involved in wireless in general, because I don't really do wireless or Wi-Fi or anything like that. But if your job wants you to do that, if your employer will pay for this and for this adapters, and you need to come and learn about them, you can search RPCAP and you'll find all this information. So this is the website. This is the manufacturer that makes the adapters. All right, let me put this down. So here you go. Again, I'm gonna make sure you got this. So Wireshark, there's three important things you need to know. This and this. libpcap, link layer interface, and you use libpcap when you use Wireshark on Linux. And if you're using Wireshark on Windows, like what I'm using right now, we are using WinPcap, all right? And if you are doing wireless 802.11, you are using ERPcap. All right, let's go to the next slide. Now, this is the Wireshark graphical user interface, the GUI, the main page, the main thing you are always going to see and you're always going to want to know. All right, the first thing, it's the main menu. This is the main menu right here. File, edit, view, go, capture, analyze, statics, telephony, tools, internal, and help. All right, I mean, I'm not going to. I will go through some of those, but some of the things you need to go and try and figure out what they do. Telephony, it's if you are capturing voice over IP traffic. For statics, so there's some very nice features in the analyze and the statics. We'll talk about them in a different video. So this is called the main menu. I'm going to stomp on my foot. I'm banging the ground, the floor. So you need to wake up and you need to remember those names. This is the main menu right here on top. All right. Now at the bottom we have the main toolbar. Main toolbar. Main toolbar will include all these tools, and I will show you what all these tools do in a second. All these tools right here are the main toolbar. All right. Display filters. This is the best thing that Wireshark offer. I love display filters because they makes your job so much easy. They make your job so much easier. Display filters, you just type right here. What are you looking for? You're looking for ARP. You just type ARP, and well, there is some complication to it. There's so many ways to write a display filter. There's general display filters, there's specific general display filters if you're looking for a specific IP address, specific port numbers. We will talk about those, but there's thousands of ways to put a display filter in this bar right here. All right, so we'll talk about it. So again, main menu, main toolbar, display filter, and then we have the Wi-Fi 802.11 setting. This is if you are doing wireless sniffing. And then we have packetless pane. All right, this is important. Packetless pane. All right, remember packetless pane. Let me make this zoom and go out. Packetless pane. Oh man, you need to remember this is important. But I mean, all of this is important too. But packetless pane, this is where all the packets that you have captured or you are viewing, they're going to be in the packetless pane. And then when you highlight one of the packets, let's say we highlight this packet, all right, I suck at this, all right, the packet list, the packet details pane will give us the detail of this packet we highlighted. Now, I'll show you this in the real, while it's running, and you'll see how this packet details pane change, and all this information right here change. It depends on which packet you're highlighting. And the packet details pane, this is another important one. You need to remember packet list pane, you need to remember packet details pane, and you are going to give the information of layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3, and layer 4, whatever. You're going to get all the details of the packet and the packet details pane. All right. Oh, sorry. And then we have packets bytes pane. This is if you want to see the packets in hexadecimal and ASCII. All right. And the cool thing about the packet bytes pane, if we highlight something in the packets detail pane, it will highlight it in the packet bytes pane if you want to know what's the hexadecimal and ASCII value for that specific, let's say, IP address, specific header length. It will highlight a specific hexadecimal value or ASCII value if you are into hexadecimal and ASCII. I don't want to worry about it that much because it's so much work for me. All I need to know is where's the source, destination, and we will talk about it. All right, but we need to know what packets bytes pane does. What packets details pane will display the details of the package that is highlighted in the packet list pane. All right. Now, oh, I keep doing this. Status bar. This is important. All right. Status bar will give you information of the profile you are using. All right. You can change the profile, and we will talk about profiles in a separate video because you can change. This is the default profile, which is like you have this default everything. You can change all these things like whatever you can remove the wireless. If you don't do wireless, you can remove this and save a different profile, so you don't have to do it every time you log it in. All right, now it will display the packets, how many packets. All right, we have 6 packets total in this picture. We are displaying 6 packets out of 36. So what it means, we might have 100 packet, all right? And then we do a display filter for ARP, for example, and then we only have 20 ARP packets. So what's going to happen here, the packets will be 100 and displayed will be 20, and then it will tell us how many are displayed, like the percentage, and if there's any packets that are dropped. Okay, now this is telling you where is that file located at, if you, because it's gonna save the file. It's here, it's showing that I have that file located, on blah 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 blah. And then here, this is, we are going to talk about it later. This right here, this circle, it changed colors. Sometimes it's red, sometimes it's yellow, sometimes it's green, and sometimes it's like silver right now. Every color is indication of something. We will talk about it in a different video. So again, this is a very quick review. We have main menu, main toolbar, display filter, packet list pane, packet details pane, and packet bytes pane, and the status bar. All right, so now let me show you in the live capture, or let me show you in the regular, not a picture, how all this main menu and toolbar and everything works. All right, so the main menu, as we have in here, has the file where you can open files, open recent files. You can merge 2 files into 1 file and look it up at the same time. And you can import from hex dump. You can save as, close, and export and all this information. You can edit, view. If I don't want the wireless toolbar, I press here, I remove the wireless toolbar. And same thing for other stuff. Zoom in and zoom out, normal size. If you zoom in right here, you have it right here too. You don't want it. This is going to take you back to the normal. All right. And then we have go. All this like go and capture and analyze, are they all located right here in the toolbar? In the main toolbar. All right, so the first thing in the main toolbar is list the available capture interfaces. Now when you press on the list available capture interfaces, it's going to tell you all the interfaces that you have that you can take captures from. So you can choose, for example, and at the same time it tells you which interfaces is active or doing. Like right now this one is sending and receiving 85, 6, 91 is changing. This one is working and it has a lot of work on it. You can choose it and press start, or you can go to options and then you can play with what do you want to capture. And this is capture filters. Now here, what capture filters are, if you choose no ARP and you press OK and you start capturing, Wireshark will only capture everything except ARP. It will not capture ARP. It's not going to display ARP. So I'd rather to use display filters over capture filters, because display filters, it will capture everything and then I display whatever I want to analyze. Capture filters, it will only capture what you're telling it to capture. It will not capture everything, so you don't have that big picture of what's going on. So you need to remember the difference between display filters and capture filters. Display filters will use it if you're not using capture filters. Let me put it in a good word. If you're using capture filters, you are not going to capture the entire network packets. You're not going to capture everything. You're only going to capture what you are telling the Wireshark to capture. So if I'm telling Wireshark to only capture something from this Ethernet address, from this MAC address, it will only capture packets going from and to this MAC address, or we can make it going to that MAC address only. And then when we capture it, when we go to the page, we're not going to see anything. We're only going to see what Wireshark, what we told it to capture. Or we can just remove it and then capture everything. And then when we capture everything, we come here to the display filter and we tell it I only want to see ARP traffic. Now this specific package that I have open doesn't have any ARP package. So or we can say I want to see source now. See, now if you type in the filter and if you type and it's red, that's mean it's not working yet. So it's green, this is the right thing. Now you can change it, or you can come here and choose what do you want. Let's say I want IP address equal 192.168.1.1 that we have in this package. Press enter, and you're only going to display something coming from this IP address, or something like that. So anyway, you can use display filters to minimize whatever packet you're working on, or whatever segment you're working on, instead of using capture filters. All right. Now, and then let's go back to the options in here. All right, so here we know what the capture filters are. Now we can do resolve MAC addresses. Now, what does resolve MAC addresses mean? I love this feature right here, because if we have this, which is always, it's better to always use it. It will tell you the MAC address of where is this going or coming from. Right here. This is the destination address, and it's telling you this is coming from this company because it used the first. If you look, I have this file right here, and this is what Wireshark used because I found it in the Wireshark files, and this is all the information of every company and their MAC address. So Wireshark knows what MAC address what company and what is this interface coming from or going to by using this file, and the file is called MANUF, manufacture. It's a abbreviation by manufacturer. This is important. You need to remember this. Wireshark use MANUF, manufacture file, to resolve MAC addresses names. All right, manufacturer file to resolve MAC addresses names. I am hitting the floor with my foot again. You need to remember that. This is very important. Okay. And now let's go back. So, and then you have resolve network layer names. And what it's going to do is going to do DNS resolving, trying to figure out what the IP address that it's going to, not only the MAC address, even the IP address. But this make the capturing and make Wireshark very slow. So I would rather not to use it while the live capture. But what you can do is, if you are going into, if you go to the IP layer right here, and you choose the IP address and right click on the IP address and say resolve name. If it knows the IP address, it will resolve the IP address name, and it will tell you where's that going from, or let's say Google or Yahoo or MSN or Bing or whatever. It will tell you this is going to Google, or this is coming from Google, oh, this is going from this website, and it even tell you the GeoIP. It will tell you what country or what location it's coming from. It'll show you on the map where is that IP address at, and we will talk about that in a different video. All right, so we got that, and if we press this, it will start new live capture. We stop the live capture, and then we restart the running live capture. We can open a capture file, save this capture file, close this capture file, reload. We have find a packet. We can specifically look for a specific packet. And then if we highlight this one and then we press this, it will take you to the last one you highlighted. Let's say I highlight this and then highlight this. Okay, press back, it will send me back to the last one I highlighted, and here it will send me back to the one before it. So this is important. If you were working in like, this is a very small file. There's like, sometimes files have thousands of packets, and you're working on this packet right here at 75, and then you were looking at something else, and you came to packet number 5, and you forgot what packet you were looking at. You press this, it will take you back to packet 75. This is a great feature, and it's the same thing. If you press this, it will take you back to 5. And now this, it will go to a packet with number. If you remember the number, we'll say just, I want to go to packet 45, and it'll take you straight to packet 45. Go to the first packet, go to the last packet, and then this colorized packet. So you can remove all the colors if you don't like to see the colors and colors distract you, or you can put the colors, because like right now this is only a specific TCP SYN and acknowledgement packet for TCP acknowledgement. So there's only one color or two colors. However, if working with a packet that it's capturing everything, you're going to have different colors. Like right here, this is the colors you're going to have. And if you don't like them, you can remove them. All right. But I like to see the colors because they're an indication of something. All right. Zoom in, zoom out, or make it 100%. And then we have resize all columns. Now what this is, now if you look, I can actually make those columns a little bit, move them a little bit to the side, because sometimes they are very like close to each other, and I want to have some differentiated between them. Oh. And I move them. Now they look good, but if you want to make them resize all the columns, they bring them back close, and that will help you. That will be good. Edit capture filters, and then edit apply display filters. Coloring rules, we are going to talk about coloring rules in a different video. And then we have edit preference. It will just take you to Wireshark preference, and this is important too. We will talk about the preference too. And then we have that show me some help. If you want some help, take you to the user guide and we'll show you the help. All right. Now, before I end this video, I'm going to end this video because I don't want to make it too long and you get bored. The next video, we are going to talk about the display filters, capture filters, and maybe coloring rules.